Hi everyone, it's Kate. Today I am talking about another movie. This is a movie from 2008. It is called Picture This, starring Ashley Tisdale and Robbie Amell. He is from The Duff and lots of other things. And obviously everyone knows who Ashley Tisdale is. I don't need to get into what she's been in. So I don't even know how to begin talking about this movie because it's like such little happens, but there's so much for me to talk about. Like there are like little things where I'm like, I will spend like an hour discussing this. I won't, don't worry. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. So her main character, her name is Mandy. She is obviously played by Ashley Tisdale, and she lives with her dad. Her mother passed away. Her dad, there are so many words to say about him. He is super overprotective, but like not to the point where it's like he cares so much about his daughter, but very controlling and overprotective, where it's like she's 18, like she turns 18, and he's treating her like she is an infant or a convict, and he's like the parole officer. So Mandy and she is two best friends. They're kind of important, but like not really. They're with her the whole movie, but they don't really add anything to the movie. They're just kind of like the background characters for her to like chat with, so she's not like monologuing. But the three of them are unpopular. She has the biggest crush on Drew, the hot popular guy. But Drew is dating one of the mean girls, so it's like, oh my gosh, that's such a crazy thing that no one has ever heard of before. Mandy is like, I'm about to turn 18, I need to get Drew, I need to get my man. Drew's on the swim team, so she's like, I'm gonna go on the girls' swim team and swim and try to impress him. But then she falls into the water and goes unconscious, and he has to give her CPR. That's like their entire first conversation of the movie. Also, I feel like if you fall into the water, you're not gonna immediately drown. Like, he immediately saves her, and then she has to give her CPR. Like, girl, if your heart's beating, you don't need CPR. I don't know if you learned that, but he saves her, and she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, it's meant to be. He saved my life. But it's like, girl, because he was the only other person in the pool. No, it's actually crazy. She like dies. And then she's at school the next day. She goes to work, like literally that afternoon she goes to work. She works at a pet store. She wants to be a vet when she's older, so she like knows all about animals. And the mean girl, her name is Lisa. She takes Drew to the pet store to embarrass Mandy, being like, see Drew, you want to go out with a poor? Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. Having a job, learning hard work, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. But then he's like he doesn't understand why, so he's just like, oh hey, like my cat's feeling kind of sick, and she's like, I know exactly what it is. So then she gives him the medicine, and he's like, you know a lot about animals. And she's like, I want to be a vet. And he's like, which war? I'm kidding. That's not what happens. That's just in my head. And like they're like chit-chatting, and she's like, oh yeah, thanks again for like saving my life. And he's like, no problem. And he's like, hey, do you want to like hang out tomorrow at like the square, which is like, it's kind of like a outdoor mall. Might be a mall.
Maybe I'll see you around.
Yeah, maybe. Where might you see me around? Around where?
I don't know.
She's like, okay. So her friends are like, what is why is he doing this? Is he just going to embarrass her? Is he just going to ditch her? Whatever. But no, he shows up, and oh, it's so embarrassing. So she's eating chips and salsa, but it's really spicy. So she goes over to the soda fountain. She goes under and just sticks her head under, like fucking Finnick Odair from Hunger Games, drinking water. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, this eats so hard. She's like, gets embarrassed, and he's like, if you want, I can buy you a cup.
You want a drink? I could get you a beverage receptacle.
It's so cute because you're kind of worried, being like, is he gonna be like, oh my gosh, this freak? But no, he's like, that's kind of funny. That's endearing in like a silly way. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I thought it was gonna be like, where she kind of has to like change and be like, I'm not actually weird. He like is so into her the second he meets her. It's like, did you not notice her before you saved her life? Or maybe it was like a life or death scenario, like made them connect. Like whenever it's like you've trauma with someone, it's like. Also, she turns 18. Her dad gives her. It's so, oh my gosh, this is actually really sweet. It just shows how good of a kid she is. So she gets contacts and a phone with like a video like thing. This movie came out in 2008. It's also sponsored by LG, so no wonder. And she gets so excited. She's like, I have to call my friends. Oh my gosh, Dad, you're the best. Thank you so much. Whatever. And then his really only response is, you better not be going to the lake with all your new stuff. The lake, it's literally just like a big clearing where people just go and hang out. Like, it's not even like a party area because they go during the day. Also, at like whenever her dad gives her these things, he's also like, I also made the plans for us to for us to move where you're going to college next year, and it's a duplex. So it's like, you get the top floor, I got the bottom floor.
I've been working on this for a long time. It's a duplex in Ventura. I'm down here in this level, and you have this whole top floor to yourself.
Oh my gosh, I would kill myself. I don't even know how to explain it. I hate this man. Like, this is the type of dad who you go no contact with once you go to college. So she goes to the lake, which she's not supposed to. She goes with Drew because Drew invited her and her friends. She immediately goes, like, her and Drew hug because he's like so into her immediately. The bitch Lisa takes Mandy's phone because her dad called, so she like films it while calling her dad. So he's like, who is that? What are there? So she quickly runs over and takes the phone, and he's like, you better come home right now, young lady. And then she gets home and she's like, crap, I'm in trouble.
He's the rabid primate that was groping you. It's amazing how you can watch these videos over and over. Huh?
He grounds her. She can't go out. She doesn't have her phone. She's not allowed to have her laptop. So like, she can't even talk to her friends. For talking to a boy and hugging him. By the way, she is 18 years old.
You can't go out, you can't use your phone, and you can't watch TV. Or use your computer.
That's 4 things.
Shall we go for 5?
Also, by the way, whenever she's at the park thing, before her dad calls, Drew invites her to his party the next day because his parents are out of town, and it's like a yearly tradition that he has like a party or something like that. So she's like, crap, I gotta find a way to go to this party. And that's kind of sets up the whole movie. So she's grounded, but she's like, Dad, I'm failing a class. She's not. She goes over to her friend's house because her dad's like, you have to call me every 30 minutes. And her mom has to be there, and if you're not there, like, I'm gonna be really pissed at you. But so Mandy goes to her friend's house, and then, like, they are like, okay, so we're gonna go to the mall because you need to get a dress. So they go to the mall. She buys a cute dress. Also, Lisa cuts up, because, like, so Mandy had brought a dress to her friend's house, but then Lisa is stalking her and goes to her, like, follows where she drives, finds the dress in her car, cuts it up. Because she doesn't want Drew to fall in love with Mandy, although he already has. Like, Lisa, sorry girl, you lost. And they've already broken up, by the way. And then they go to the mall, and hijinks ensues. Lisa attempts to murder her because Lisa puts macadamia nuts in a smoothie that is given to Mandy. Mandy is severely allergic. So her face puffs up, and it looks like she just has, like, a botched plastic surgery. She drinks, like, liquid antihistamines, I guess, like some allergy meds, which I don't know if this would fix an allergic reaction. Like, girl, you need an EpiPen. And then they go to a furniture store because their dad's gonna call and they can, like, FaceTime. I don't know what it's called from this time, so I'm just gonna just say FaceTime. They get the furniture salesman to let them make the little living room that looks like the other girl's house, and they pretend that he is the stepfather because it's like, you need a dad there. So he sits there with a newspaper, and then she's like, see, Dad, we're all here. And he's like, who's that? And she's like, Dad, that's so-and-so's stepdad. And he's like, hey. They go outside. Their car is towed, and it will be $300. None of them have that. So then they go to a Battle of the Bands competition to make the money. But while they're there, the dad calls again, so she makes all of the people in the crowd pause and then move to whatever song she's saying is like, or like whatever movie they're watching. So it's like, oh, this is just a movie. And then he's like, wow, the camera quality is really good. And then while they're driving, the dad calls again, so they're crap, and she can't pull over because she doesn't have time. So she calls and he's like, are you in the car? And she's like, nope. And then she's like, show me your hand. So she does this, and her friend is taking the wheel from the side, and he's like, what are the keys? They put it in neutral, take the keys out, she jangles the keys, and she quickly puts it back in, and they quickly, like, go back to driving once they hang up.
No hands, no eyes.
Let me see the keys.
Sure, the keys, right.
Oh my gosh. This is so insane. This is the one that I was like, okay, girl, you would rather be in trouble with your dad. I mean, you would rather crash your car and you and your 2 other friends fucking die in a car crash instead of your dad, you know, getting in trouble with your dad. I think that just kind of shows how scared she is of her dad. They try to make it funny, but I'm like, this dad sucks. She sucks too because she's endangering everyone in the vehicle. And while all of this is happening, the dad is at home babysitting his nephew, his sister's kid, or his dead wife's sister's kid, I don't know. This kid hates him. He's like running around, he breaks stuff. The little boy's mom keeps calling him and is like, hey, is he okay? Hey, is he okay? Because he treats the kid horribly. Like, he's just very bad at taking care of kids. And then he gets upset. He's like, I hate that she's calling me so much. And he's like, wait a second, do you think that's how my daughter feels? So he decides to skip calling her once, and that's when she's at the party. Like right when she gets to the party, she calls him, and then he's like, am I a good dad? And she's like, yeah, you're fine. So she hangs up. So they go to the party. Drew is so happy to see her. It's so cute because I don't know what it is. I was expecting him to be such a dick, but anytime he talks to her, he's like, oh my gosh, hi, like, how are you? Like, I'm so excited to see you. And he takes her upstairs to his photography studio because he's a photographer. That's a hard word to say for me right now. A photographer. And she sees like a picture of her when she was at the lake with her friends, and she's like, oh my gosh. And there's like a rumor that he hooked up with a girl who is like unpopular or whatever. But then he leaves because he's really nervous, and he goes to washes his hands, and she's like looking around, and it's like the photography, and it's actually like a oh my gosh, it's a photography studio. But she's like, I think he's using me. So she quickly leaves while he's in the bathroom. He's like, Mandy? She just left him there. Later on, she goes home, and Tom is like showing her the new house that he built because the little kid broke it. So now he's like, see, it's a detachable, we can leave. And she's like, you think of me as a detachable? And he's like, no, I trust you and I love you. But then everyone goes to prom. She goes. Drew is prom king, and he's about to crown the girl, Lisa, as prom queen, because it's like a student body thing that they choose. But then he sees Mandy and is like, I want her to be prom queen.
With all these people around, I figured you might not say no to me.
Girl, you can't do that. Like, it's like the king doesn't choose the queen. The fucking patriarchy is taking over the prom king and queen. No! But he crowns her as prom queen, they kiss, and then it is assumed that they go to college. That's the end of the movie. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this movie. It is so stupid and it's so ridiculous and the acting is bad, but it wasn't horrible to watch. But I don't know, it was like a fine movie. There wasn't anything that I like hated about it. I just didn't like, I dislike whenever it's like it makes the girlfriend of the guy a bitch and stuff, because it's like she is horrible in this movie, but it's like it just kind of bugs me whenever it's like we're fighting over a man, and it's like obviously Mandy didn't take Drew, because you can't really take someone. It's like that person decides to leave their partner or decides to cheat on their partner. It's not really the person who takes them. It happens so often in like rom-coms and stuff, and I just don't enjoy that trope because it just makes women on both ends be like the bad guy. It just feels like a stereotype that is constantly perpetuated in movies like this. But I mean, obviously Lisa's a horrible freak who tries to kill her and cuts up her dress and breaks and enters her car. So like she's objectively the bad guy. But it's like he was starting to like be really interested in Mandy before he broke up with her. Like it's like they never portray him as the bad guy. They never portray the man as the bad guy when he was kind of shitty in some parts. Like I'm over explaining, but does anyone understand what I'm saying? It just annoys me. The stereotype of like women be crazy and women be crazy over a man. I don't know. Fine movie. I love Ashley Tisdale. If she wasn't in this movie would have sucked. It was definitely a 2008 movie. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, because if you do not do those 3 things, your dad or your parental figure is going to call you every 30 minutes and make sure you're not getting into trouble. And they're never going to believe you, even if you say that you're not in trouble. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.